Good evening and welcome to CYC News for today, the 8th of February 2015 and the 1st of Amshir 1731 AM. I am Mina Ibrahim. In our main story, His Holiness Pope Tawadros II of Alexandria received Sheikh Abdul Latif Derian, Mufti of Lebanon, accompanied by Dr. Shawki, Allam, the Grand Mufti of Egypt, at the papal headquarters in Abbasiya. During the meeting, His Holiness Pope Tawadros said that the religions do not match, but agree with some areas that the leaders have important roles to spread positive values. His Holiness also said that Egyptians have a long history during the Pharaonic, Christian and Islamic eras. The culture of accepting others is the key to coexistence and diversity gives beauty. He added, "Our job as leaders is to teach people in the culture of acceptance of other and diversity because of others can add human experiences to us. There is a difference between diversity and disagreement. Diversity is indispensable." Sheikh Abdul Latif Derian, Mufti of Lebanon, urged all Egyptians to unite to protect their nation, saying, "The heavenly religions call for the good of mankind." He also said that Egypt is a dear country and that he cannot imagine Egypt or Lebanon without Christians. He added, "Our message is one because heavenly religions promote human dignity, rights and freedoms. We work together in Egypt and Lebanon, or any other country. We made civilization of the Middle East together." Lucy Munir Bishay, sister of 26-year-old Michael, who was accused of contempt of Islam, said Michael was taken to an unknown police location. She said his family went to many lawyers and all of them refused to defend him. Lucy told MCN that the security forces arrested her brother, who holds average qualification and is from Diminya village Bolkas Dakhaliya, after he shared an episode of Tony Khalifa's program on Al-Kahira Wal Nas, broadcast last November on his Facebook page. The guest of the episode was Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah Al-Nasr, founder of Wazaran, which is a civil state, who is against extremist thoughts of Islamic heritage books. Some militants of the village exploited the incident and sent the video shared by Michael to the mobiles of many Muslims to incite them against Michael and our family, said Lucy. Thus, many villagers mobbed in front of our house. She mentioned that a Muslim villager warned the family and they escaped. She said that the villagers were chanting hostile slogans. Police went to the village. They arrested Michael from the spinning and weaving factory where he works and took him to an unknown place, she said. She said they do not know his location and lawyers refuse to defend him. Police also arrested Michael's fiancée, Justina Ayub, at 3:30 AM, but they released her Tuesday after the intervention of some Christian religious men, Lucy said. She added that all the members of the family returned to the house. She expressed her fear because there is some information that some of the militants will attack them on Friday and some Muslim militants are inciting against them. Blasphemy laws in Egypt are applied in one direction. Only Christians are accused of contempt of Islam. Gunmen kidnapped Coptic student in Kenya demand 2 million Egyptian pounds ransom. Gunmen Wednesday 23-year-old Coptic Christian Ramon Bashara Atiyah, a dentistry student. He was kidnapped from his father's pharmacy in Al-Saga area, Dishna, Kenya, Upper Egypt. The kidnappers demanded 2 million Egyptian pounds as ransom to free him. Eyewitness said 3 masked gunmen stopped their red Chevrolet, which had no numbers, in front of the pharmacy and kidnapped Ramon at gunpoint. The eyewitnesses said the gunmen forced the student to enter the car while he was calling for help. They added that 2 persons were injured in the head after being attacked with the guns by the gunmen while trying to rescue Ramon. The gunmen also opened fire in the air to terrorize passers who hid in houses and shops. The father of the Coptic student filed a report at the Dishna City police station. The security devices were informed that the kidnappers from Abu Hazm village adjacent to Al-Jaba, which is known for its abduction operations and crimes. Burning Kasabah alive reminds a similar incident against the Copt in Egypt in April 2013. Several Egyptian politicians and human rights activists condemned the murder of Jordanian pilot Moaz al-Kasabah, which burned alive by the Islamic State. Sheikh Ibrahim of the Egyptian Initiative for Personal Rights said a similar incident to what happened to the Jordanian pilot by occurred in Egypt in 2013. Burning Kazasbah alive reminds us of a similar incident that occurred in Egypt in April 2013 when sectarian clashes and collective punishment for religious identity occurred in Kozorzo district, Dakhalia, over a quarrel between a Christian and a Muslim family. Ibrahim wrote on his Facebook account, "In that incident, a Muslim was killed, and instead of dealing with the issue in its legal scope, Copts of the region were incited against and 6 Copts were killed on the first day and some houses were burned." Ibrahim explained that attacks moved to the cathedral area on the next day and another Copt was killed after the funeral prayer on the first day victims. A Christian man from Menya, Upper Egypt, was stopped by some Muslims near Khozus area and was beaten and insulted and finally burned alive. Dr. Khalid Muntasa, political writer, said that there are religious texts on which IS depends. Starting a religious revolution, renewal of religious discourse, and putting the religious text in a historical framework are not marginal requirements because IS depends on such texts to burn the Jordanian pilot alive, Muntasa added. It is an innovative religious way to execute a man by IS. Muntasa wrote on his Facebook account, however, Muhammad bin Abu Bakr was also burnt alive by Amir bin al-As order when he ruled Egypt. The first man who has professed Islam was unfortunately killed in a worse way by burning him alive inside a dead donkey. On his Facebook account today, Muhammad Salam, the founder of the Civil Egypt movement, wished Kazasbah mercy and cursed the political Islam groups, including the Muslim Brotherhood, Salafists, Jihadists, IS and Al-Qaeda, describing them as demonic plan. The IS burnt a Jordanian pilot, Muaz Kazasbah, alive. Kazasbah was captured by a hostage in last December by IS militants near the Syrian city of Raqqa when he was on a mission by the international coalition on IS strongholds. Noor Party dedicates 12 million Egyptian pounds for Copts to run on its electoral lists. Sources inside the Salafi al-Noor Party revealed that the party's secretariat has dedicated a budget of 12 million Egyptian pounds to get Copts to run on the party's electoral lists. According to Al-Yawm al-Sabah newspaper on Tuesday, a number of party's members suggested the appointment of some Copts as deputies during the coming period. Margaret Aiza, Secretary General of the National Council for Women and former MP, said the Noor Party gives £500,000 Egyptian pounds for every Copts who joins the party. In addition, the Copts were promised a seat in the next parliament. In a press statement to Al-Yawm al-Sabah, Aiza added that those Copts who join the Noor Party are traitors to their country and their religion. She explained that the Noor Party is focusing on Copts and the 38 movement who have a crisis with the church, which means that the party is not recruiting qualified candidates on its list. For his part, Dr. Tariq al-Sahari, a member of the high authority of the Noor Party, said this is an unfounded pure fabrication because those who join the party are doing so willingly. The Salafi Noor Party announced that it has nominated a Copt on its electoral list. The law specifies that there must be 24 Copts on the electoral list if the party is preparing 4 lists. Nader Siafi, founder of the Copts of 38 movement, said he officially became a member of the Noor Party and would run on its electoral list for the next parliamentary elections. Siafi noted that he is the only Copt who would run on the party's list. A state of anger is dominating the Noor Party and the Salafists called because the party announced adding Copts to its electoral lists for the parliamentary elections. At the same time, the party excluded some candidates who have been notified with nomination before. These members are threatening to resign collectively as a reaction to the situation, while others are calling for boycott of the elections. Holy See calls UN attention to the suffering of Christian women and girls. Monsignor Yanis Urbanzik, the charge of the affairs of the Holy See's Parliament Observer Mission to the United Nations, spoke to the Security Council about the plight of Christian women and girls. The lack of focus and priority for protecting them is troubling when Christians face extinction. In some regions of the world and in other regions, Christian schools for girls are targeting and attacked, he said, according to the Catholic News Agency. The Security Council meeting was open debate on protecting civilians in armed conflict and post-conflict situations. There was a special focus this session on protecting women and girls. The meeting of the Ecumenical Commission for the Ecumenical Dialogue in the Vatican. A Global Ecumenical Commission for Ecumenical Dialogue was held on Saturday the 24th of January 2015 to 31st of January in Office Church, uniting the Vatican in the 12th century between the Catholic Church and Old Eastern Orthodox churches. His Grace Bishop Bishoy, Bishop of Demit, attended as the representative of the Coptic Church and co-chair of the ancient Oriental Orthodox churches. His Grace Bishop Daniel, Bishop of Sydney, and His Grace Bishop Barnabas, Bishop of Toronto and Rome, attended as observant members of this dialogue. Pope Francis received the members of the Global Ecumenical Commission in his office, where His Grace Bishop Bishoy delivered a thanking word to the Pope for welcoming the Commission in the Vatican, and Pope Francis delivered a word to welcome the Commission, hoping the best for them, praying for the Christians of the East. The opening of the St. Anthony Service Centre, Angel and St. Anthony Church, Eindhoven, Netherlands Diocese. The Diocese of Netherlands had a celebration that was held by His Grace Bishop Arsani, Bishop of Netherlands, for the opening of the St. Anthony Service Centre. The celebration included the second generation youth of the Coptic churches in Netherlands. His Grace Bishop Arsani started the celebration with welcoming the youth and the guests, as he thanked everyone and made great efforts for building the centre, especially the Hegemon Yusuf Mansour, priest of the church. The celebration included a wonderful program. The construction of this centre is one of the steps to expand the service in the diocese and the Netherlands, and was initiated by His Holiness Pope Tawadros II. That's all for CYC News today. Stay tuned for more Christian content on CYC. I am Mina Ibrahim, and from the CYC studios in Sydney, Australia, good night and God bless.